Yeah, I mean, I think overall, I think it's a disappointing result for us. We always want to win at home. I think we were the better team tonight. Created a majority of the opportunities, but we just didn't capitalize. So I'm still really pleased with the effort that we put in. Maybe we could have picked it up a little bit better, but we're 6 games into the season right now. I think we're coming together really well. We're going to stick together. We're going to get back into training tomorrow. The guys who didn't really play much tonight will go out there tomorrow, have a good session, have Monday off, and then prepare for our next match against Charlotte. So I'm really interested to see how we're going to respond, and I think we have the group to do it. Regarding my 400th regular season appearance, I'm grateful to a lot of people. I think that's the kind of like a longevity. So coaches and teammates and different organizations. But this one, I love being here. My family loves being here. And first and foremost, I'm grateful to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, giving me the strength and the ability to do this. And ultimately, I'm trying to bring Him glory, and also bring my family that always supports me. Just try to reciprocate that love by going out there. And if it's 1 minute, I'm going to play 90 minutes. I'm always going to give it my all. So hopefully I got a bunch more games in me.
Thanks so much, Teal.
Yeah.
We'll start with Ben. Go ahead and ask Teal. We'll go in the same order as before.
Teal, you obviously 400 games. You've been around MLS a while, and at this point Nashville a while. I'm kind of curious. I think this is the first time we've chatted with you this season.
Yep.
What have you kind of made of the changes that you've seen in the club this winter under BJ?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest change for me is his mentality, his mindset. I mean, just the other day we were talking about it doesn't matter if we're playing at home or away, we want to win the game. And that might be a little thing to hear, but as players, that should be our goal. Every game is wanting to get 3 points. We're not going to try to just see games out or anything like that. We're going to try to, have that killer instinct. The way he's brought the group together is really important. Being around for a while now, the good teams and the great teams, you see they gel. A lot of the stuff that maybe fans might not see, reporters might not see, is the work that goes in when we're at training or when we get together as a group. I think that really brings a team together, and we have a squad that's like that cares for each other on and off the field. And I think the tactics kind of speak for themselves. I think we're a little bit more progressive in how we play. We got each other's backs. We look a little bit more fluid in the attack. So still growing 6 games into this season. It's a long one, but I'm just really pleased with how it's gone with BJ and John and Danny and Mike. It's been a great coaching staff.
And then obviously losing games is never ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Losing at home, I think you can maybe argue that this was as tight margins as you'd see in a loss. When you kind of look back at this, I know it just happened, but do you take anything from the chances that you guys created? Is that better than if you had lost and not created?
Yeah, I mean, it might seem a little bit better because we created some, and maybe the expected goals will be X amount. But I think we'll be a little bit disappointed with this one because it's it's a little bit of a rivalry, especially for us and for our fans. And more than that, I feel like we were the better team. I mean, all credit to Cincinnati. They came, they had a game plan, and they got all 3 points. So I think we're just disappointed whenever we lose. And I think in the locker room, the feeling is, hey, we'll get back to it, but this one stings a little bit.
Teal, what was it like seeing Brian Anunga for Cincinnati on the other sideline tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the toughest players that I see in the locker room, that I've been able to play with before. So I'm excited for him that he's with a team like Cincinnati, and I think he helps that team out a lot. So it was great seeing him.
And for you had a chance right after you came in. You had that header from Sam that just went right over the bar. How do you go from just being on the sideline, warming up, to coming in the game and having that kind of a chance to maybe tie the game?
Yeah, I mean, starting or coming off the bench, I mean, it's 2 different kind of mindsets. You're always just ready. You never know when your name's going to be called, and it might be, a cliche thing, but you just always got to be prepared. So you could, I was over there like a bunch of the guys. We were warming up for, maybe a good 35 minutes. So you just never know when your time's going to come. You just try to make the most when you get those chances or opportunities or whatever, if it's a tackle, if it's a shot on goal, whatever it is. So I always just try to stay as engaged as possible, watching the game unfold and seeing ways I can maybe, put my touch on it when I get on the field.
Teal, you're a veteran player. You've been in this role with Nashville specifically for a few years now. You have a lot younger squad this year. After a loss like this, what are you telling them? Are you speaking to them? Or, what are sort of the advice you give them?
Yeah, I think it depends on which player it is. Some guys, you want to give them a little breathing room. Other guys, you can go up, put your arm around. But I think it's just sticking together. There's so many ups and downs in the season, and we can't just put our heads down now. After obviously we're gonna have to learn from this game and what things went well, what things didn't go well. Obviously, the result didn't go well, but like what other things inside of the game and inside of the match and little moments could we improve on? But I think once we get back together, I'm always going to try to be lighthearted. I'm going to motivate guys. I'm going to try to pump guys up, and I'll be there available if guys, need someone to talk to. So right now it's keeping our spirits up. If, I didn't want us getting too excited when, we had a little streak there, and I don't want us to get too low now after suffering a loss. We got to get on with it because, Charlotte's a good team. We got to prepare for them.
And you've always been a flexible player in terms of position. With this sort of formation that you guys have been playing the beginning of the season, how do you like it, and how do you see your role within it?
Yeah, I mean, I see myself being a forward. It's kind of a different type of formation where the forwards stay a little bit further apart. So that's just a different part of my game where at times I would be a winger. Sometimes I'd be, hold-up center forward. So wherever BJ and the rest of the coaching staff see me, I'm going to try to impact it, like I say, and just be ready whenever that moment is to try to help out. And I think everybody on the team does that. Everybody this year has been incredible, especially new guys that have come and just bought right into the culture. And I think that's super important. And it might sound like, we're stressing that so much, but it's one of the most important things as a group is being able to have guys be cohesive enough when things aren't going well. How are we going to respond now?
Vijay, after 400 games, many coaches, many systems, many teams, you probably more qualified than many guys to answer this. What makes a player like you buy into a system from another coach like BJ?
Yeah, the big thing for me is always trust. Getting the understanding and trusting that they have a philosophy and they want us to play a certain way. Because a lot of times you can have new coaches, you can have new players, but if the trust isn't there and if the guys aren't bought in, then it's not really going to work out. For me, BJ came in from the get-go and he's treating everybody the same way. He knows how to motivate guys, and he knows how to keep us even-keeled. And I think that's something as a player, coaches want players who are consistent, and I think as players we want coaches who are consistent, and that's what BJ and the rest of the coaching staff are. They're always, no matter if we're doing well or not, they're always going to give it to us straight, and that's what we need, and that's what we ask for as players.
Now, going back to the game tonight, you said that you thought that the team was the best, Nashville was the best team out there tonight. What key points, perhaps you might say, that why the victory got away?
I think we didn't capitalize on our chances. I think maybe there were some lulls, a little bit in the first half. It's an amazing goal by Evander on his free kick goal. So sometimes you got to put your hand up and say, okay, we give you that. But I still think there was moments throughout the second half in particular that we were just either the cross was a little too far in front of our player. Maybe the shot was a little too wide, or maybe we took too many touches. All these little things that we could be happy that we're getting in those moments, but we have to have that killer instinct.
Teal, with your experience in the MLS and getting to 400 appearances, what is, I guess, one thing that you've had consistent your whole career that's kind of like a pregame ritual or something that you do?
Yeah.
Is there something that sticks out for you there?
I mean, I'm always listening to gospel on my way to the stadium. I try to worship him and get my head in the right space. But I don't have too many routines and rituals. I always text my wife whenever I get to the stadium, home or away. Just thank her for all she does with our 3 beautiful kids. Those kids aren't easy, and what she has to do is a lot harder than what I got to do. I get to kick a ball around, But yeah, nothing too crazy, but always just trying to give him praise. Yeah. Good. Yeah, thank you guys.